Hi guys, welcome back. And this time around, I'm bringing you a couple of IMs that I've been listening to over the last week or so. Some of them I've been listening to them already for kind of 2 weeks. Some of them even over a month. And it's IMs that I have. I will be reviewing in more detail, obviously, but I thought I'd just put them together so that you guys can have a general idea of what to expect in the coming days. I don't want this to be weeks, in the coming days, what to expect. I'm going to start off here with the DSP powered versions of the EA500 DSP, the EW300 DSP, and the latest one, the EG280. Uh, all of them have in common that they have that DAC, which in the case of the 500 and the 300 DSP, it's actually the cable that has the DAC, so you don't have an alternative cable to use. While on the EJ280, they've actually made it a separate dongle. Where did I put now the dongle? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Well, anyway, don't worry about it. It's a separate dongle. Oh, here it is. So it's got a separate dongle that does the DSPing. Let's put it on on the 280. The 500 is it's basically the EA 500, but so it's got that same 10 millimeter DLC driver, which is in my opinion one of the best drivers out there. Honestly, one of the best drivers out there. As for the 300 and the 280, they this is a tribrid, that's a single DD, so this is a tribrid, this is a hybrid. This uses a 10 millimeter LCP, a 6 millimeter planar, and a PCT driver. Well, this one just uses a newer generation 10 millimeter dynamic driver and a newer generation planar. Again, they have their DSPs to process the sound. I've listened to them without the DSPs and with the DSPs. Obviously, without the DSPs, I use them with a different cable. Although I could have done it here in the case of the 280 with its stock cable. The stock cable it's meh. Anyway, and I don't want to jump ahead too much. They all have their fortes, they less let's say fortunate characteristics, although none of them are any deal breakers. But the first impressions, or the impressions over these last couple of weeks that I've had them, is 280 definitely is the one that makes the most sense at this point. The 300 is close behind, and the 500 I still have to kind of make up my mind. I think they've tamed the bass a little bit too much over the DSP. I would like to see this DSP implementation at one point, or at some point, have some sort of ability to be integrated either into an app that they SIMGOT develop, or then maybe become available on WalkPlay, and you can use that app to control the possibility of let's say the equalizer that it has or whatever. I think that's the thing that right now it's holding back these IEMs to have a performance which surpasses their abilities. In terms of price, let's not worry about that. But they're all comfortably below $100. As for the next one over here, this is the HiDIZS Sonic, the MK10. Kind of uses the same type of diaphragm and same family of driver as the MK12 Tourist, although yeah, it's a 10 millimeter, not a 12. As is always the case, a beautiful shell. Okay, exchangeable nozzles. Oh, by the way, these also have exchangeable nozzles, I didn't mention. Exchangeable nozzles, and much like the MK12, HiDIZS has done their own thing. It's not an IEM that, let's say, falls within the more common Harman tuning, which is what, for example, we've had SIMGOT do here. But as was the situation with the MK12, the MK10 is an absolute well, I don't want to sound like I'm shilling it too much. So let's say this: it's very good, a very good IEM. Okay, very good IEM. I will say that since it has the exchangeable nozzles, they could have maybe attempted a third tuning, which would be different from the other two, which is something which happens in the MK12, where you have 3 different nozzles with 3 very different tunings. And here I would have liked them to have attempted a more significant departure between 2 of the settings, which are almost identical. Otherwise, really nice sounding IEM. Not the stock cable as you can possibly have noticed, but it just sounds really good. It's got a lot of the MK12's musicality. Okay, so nothing to be said there. On the end, yeah, the KZ AM16. I've had this one for quite some time now. The all BA 8 BAs. I would say this is probably the latest generation of what started out with the AS16 Pro and then the Pro Plus and whatever it was. Well, all the various AS16s that they've had, which I still think the initial one was probably still the best, although it did have that little thing that it became better if you used an impedance adapter. And this is the latest version, and again, not wanting to jump too much ahead, definitely the best out of the 8BA series, and really giving the AS24 Pro and the Sonata a real run for their money. And when you consider this is $30, well done, KZ. Honestly, I have no issues with saying it out loudly. Well done. Very nice surprise. Honestly, for $30, there's absolutely nothing I can point at it. Being dead serious there. Dead serious. Okay. In the front here, and I didn't place them in any order of which are the ones that I liked more, I didn't like more, but in the front here are again IEMs that surprised me very much. I'm going to start off well, I've been enjoying all of them. I'm going to start off here with the Mangird Tea PRO. This has been out already for a while. 2 DDs in a nice berry configuration and 6 BAs. And this immediately, when I listened to it, it reminded me of quite a few IEMs, mind you. Let me just quickly put here the graph. Exactly. It reminded me of quite a few IEMs. I'm talking of the likes of the Xenns Canon, the Pro, the latest version of the Xenns Canon. I'm talking oops, my apologies there. The QE's Crescent. I'm talking the Astral. So it's and this to say basically what the Mangird Tea PRO, a very nice IEM. And just the simple fact that they've been able to give us more, not only in terms of better cable, a beautiful IEM, more hardware, and maintain the price basically the same as the original Mangird Pro, which I also have, and I did some comparisons, and give it a sound which is, I mean, again, I'm trying not to go too much into it. Very good, very good IEM. Here I have something which is not every day that you come across, which is Daruma Audio Vento Conductor. This is this particular model here is part of a series that as I was saying, this is part of a series that Daruma Audio has recently launched from Vento Conductor, and this particular model here is the RAN, or RAN, okay, I'm not sure how I really should pronounce it. Very nice shell, beautiful, it looks like a resin with this very nicely done faceplate. I apologize for this thing not focusing there, but beautiful faceplate, fits beautifully, 10mm drive as I mentioned, priced at around $70. I got this particular unit from Angeliers, which is the only person outside of Daruma Audio that I have seen selling this IEM, and what I can say is, again, very nice. I mean, if there's one common thing that I have in all these IEMs here, there's a few other IEMs that I've also received and I will be reviewing eventually, but these are the IEMs that I've received let's say over the last couple of weeks or months, the most recent ones, and the ones that all of them have one thing in common. I was really impressed with their sound, really impressed. and the run is no exception. This is a phenomenal IEM for what for what they've attempted to do with it. Really nice. What is maybe the problem that this will run into? It's competing in a tough segment. The $70 price bracket is tough, but I have to say that the two IEMs that I recently got from Angel Ears, be it this one or the TFC collaboration, the Athena. Wow, well, the Athena I've just recently reviewed, and the Athena, seriously, very nice, very nice. If musicality is what you want, if engagement is what you want, very nice. And the Daruma audio, this model, the Vento Conductor, the run, honestly, it's basically the same thing. You know, it's an IM that it just has above all and above all, I think the main thing was to make it be musical, and it sure as hell is musical. Trust me. Okay. The next one here is something very special. Again, something that I don't think I've seen any reviews done on it, and neither have I on the Daruma audio, by the way. But something very special, which is an IM from Dot Audio. This is their single DD, the D1, one of their single DDs, the D100. And I have to say, okay, fair enough, it is $280 roughly, but I will tell you just this much. This is Isabellai level of performance. So Aureolus Isabellai level of performance. And if you guys follow me and have known me for a while, I have a few IEMs that I really, are my references. The Tension Oxygen, it has been one of my single ED references for the longest period of time. The Isabellai as well. Whether the Isabellai was worth the 600 plus price point or not, that's a different story. I got my one in second hand for a really good deal. And up to that value, up to that $350, $400, I can see a point for a single ED. When you get above that, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't care what level of technology you've used on the IEM. I don't care what you've done to make it. It's a single driver. End of story. So unless you tell me that the shell is made of solid gold, there's no way in God's good earth that I'm going to be spending 700, 800, 1,000 no. Honestly, either I put that IEM in my ears and I meet my creator, and I am in pure continuous bliss, or then forget it. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but forget it. And the Dot Audio, the D100 is really a very special IM. That's all I'm going to say for now. This is a very special IM. It plays music like very few other IEMs can do. Okay, let me just say that much. The level of musicality, the level of I don't even know what the best possible word is, of engagement that I found and that I got when I listened to it is something that you don't experience every day. That's the reality. Again, it's an IEM that doesn't try to follow any of the tendencies in terms of tuning. It's got a big fat bass. I would say the bass is probably kind of almost Fat Freak style, but it's that integration of how the bass has been done, and then the way the upper mids, the mids, upper mids, and treble or come together. It makes the at least for me, honestly, the experience of the D100 has been a really impressive experience, without a doubt. In my opinion, one of the best single DDs under $300, without a doubt. Okay, but I'm not gonna too much. And then finally here I've got an IEM which is part of the as you guys might know, XINHS, IVPIQ, and ZISIN are all basically the same company, XINHS being the mother company, and then you have IVPIQ and ZISIN as subsidiaries, as, let's say, the father, the mother, and the son. Let's put it that way. And they all, there's a lot of similarities there, yes, but they all have their place well defined. it's not common to see the same cable being available across the three brands, although it kind of happens sometimes here or there, but they've kind of really divided up which company will carry what. Oh my god, XINHS did have some IAMs initially, and then IVPIQ kind of took over that part of having more IAMs, and I've reviewed most of them, and you guys know that there's some really impressive stuff there from IVPIQ. The triple DD that they have, which is the Shanghai, is it's on the level of some significantly more expensive single DD IAMs. And then ZISIN, which came to be more recently, also has introduced some IAMs. This is also a ZISIN cable. It's actually the cable that came with the IAM. Very nice, very nice. I wasn't expecting anything else but a good cable. So the ZISIN is a 1+2 hybrid, costs about $120, and let me say this much: very impressive, a 1+2. Very, very, very impressive. It's got a mix of let me see. It's got a mix of Panon older style tuning, so something like along the lines of the EST50, something along the lines of the H60, well, not older, but something along the lines of the H60. It's got some of those vibes going there, and actually when I listened to it for the very first time, I thought to myself, oh my god, if somebody told me that this was something from Panon or from ISN, I would have said, yeah, no issues, I believe you. Honestly, impressive stuff for a 1+2. Impressive stuff. Very, very capable I am. And that's it, guys. So basically, these are some, or rather, let me rephrase that. These are the IEMs that have impressed me the most over the last couple of, let's say, the last month. Of the ones that I still haven't reviewed. Okay, I've got maybe an equal amount of other IEMs that I received that I haven't yet given them more time. Some stuff, yes, I've listened to it briefly, and it sounds interesting. For example, I've got as well the Let's Shure, the latest one, the latest single DD. I like the IEM. I think it sounds really good. It gave me vibes of the Tanzjam Ola, if you guys remember, but I still haven't listened enough to it to, make a more concrete appreciation of what it is, let alone be able to comfortably give first impressions on it. So my first impressions for this whole bunch of IEMs here is really good. I'll just give a quick recap. The EG280, I think, out of the DSP versions that SIMGOT offers, is the most balanced out in the way that it presented itself. The MK10 definitely earns the right of being a baby MK12, although there's similarities in the tuning. The overall vibe is a little bit different, but really, really impressive IEM. The AM16 from KZ, without a doubt, the best low-priced all BA IEM that you can buy. End of story. It's end of story, and it competes very favorably, but very, very favorably with its older siblings, the AS24 Pro and the Sonata. Very favorably. The Mangird Tea PRO, without a doubt, this is part, or has become part of my, let's say, 2+6 or 2+4 of my dual DD plus, plus then the rest hybrid that is out there. I was thoroughly impressed with it. And then, sorry, I was jumping really to the Vermilion. Then the Daruma audio, single DD, but single DD done in a very impressive manner. It's not a single DD that again, they've taken their own approach of Vento Conductor, had done their own thing. It's a departure from previous Vento Conductor products like the T500, which I reviewed a couple of years ago, and the T500 was in essence, let's say, a more polished KB ear. I'm trying to remember the model, the KB ear, the Ink. was a more polished ink, and this one I think it's even well, this is an improvement over that T500 in my opinion. Although the T500 was more expensive and had an all metal shell and blah 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 blah. This for me is an improvement over that. I like the overall balance of sound here more. The Dot Audio D100, one of the best single DDs under $300. End of story. That's all I'm going to say there. I definitely want to get my hands on a few other things that are there. I'm trying to just kind of see if I can afford them or get them somehow. But this definitely up there with the best single DDs that I have. And finally, the Vermilion 1+2 hybrid from ZISIN, which is, like I said, Xenns or IVPIQ, part of that group of brands. Phenomenal 1+2 hybrid. Honestly, I'm a very big fan of the Xenns 1+2, of which I collaborated and I did my own let's say version of it some years back. I think it was back in 2022, so it's been 3 years. That was a really impressive 1+2. This has outdone that collaboration of mine that I did with Xenns. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, guys, like and subscribe. I know I wanted to make something short and I just dragged on and blah 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 blah. Take care now.